The good news is after that backdrop, both phones remain fully functional, but the bad news, at least for the Galaxy S9, is its glass is completely shattered, whereas on the iPhone X, the glass back is mostly intact. I mean, it's not in perfect condition, there is this tiny little crack that's tough to show here on camera, but it's nothing compared to the damage on the S9 and seems to back up Apple's claim of using the strongest glass on a phone, giving it the easy win in round number 1. Round number 2, corner drop.
3, 2, 1. Ooh.
So the corner drop leaves this mark on both phones. However, the difference here is between stainless steel and aluminum, with the iPhone X stainless steel band showing only minor scratches compared to the much more noticeable scuffs on the S9's aluminum. Neither phone has any dents or anything like that, so they both held up well in that regard, but once again, it's an easy win for the iPhone X in round number 2. Round number 3, face drop.
In 3, 2, 1.
After that face drop, we get an almost opposite result from what we saw in the first round, with the S9's glass remaining fully intact. There's no shattering, there's no cracks, and outside of a few small little scratches, you would never even know that this phone was dropped flat on its face. Now, the iPhone X didn't do too poorly either. Its glass didn't shatter and only suffered cracks along the top left, but compared to the Galaxy S9, there's really no contest, and it looks like Samsung's improvements to the aluminum housing and a slightly thicker glass on the front panel really made a difference, giving it the win in round number 3, bonus round. Alright, so this has turned out to be a close one, and with both phones still fully functional after our 10-point inspection, they move on to the bonus round, where we'll drop each phone up to 10 times from just under 5 feet. Last time, it took 5 bonus drops before the iPhone X's home gesture stopped working, and while the phone's other features still technically remained functional, not being able to use a gesture that is needed to literally unlock the phone forced us to throw in the towel. Let's see if the Galaxy S9 Plus can do any better.
3, 2, 1, drop. Oh no! Definitely cracked, but obviously still works. Camera, ooh, that front facing camera, the selfie cam, that is, that's really not usable. It's super cracked right there. But rear camera is still working, so let's go on. I don't even think there's no way. First time it cracked, second time, okay, still works. Drop it. I feel like it just gets louder and louder. The glass all over the platform, screen, Bixby, no. Screen still works. So some dimples in the screen right over here, really bad shattering up across the top. I bet you the selfie cam just doesn't even work at all. Ooh. Okay, look at that. It won't even switch to the selfie cam. That's interesting. So selfie cam is bad. And I can't even switch. So at this point, I think the cameras are gone. Let's see if we can dial. 911. Okay, so that still works. I still hear the speakerphone working. So we will go on, but it's pretty damn close to death. And drop it. Alright, did it survive 10? Did it do it? I don't know. Yep, touchscreen is still good to go. I can lock it and unlock it, which not all phones can do. And while I can't go into the camera, I could dial 911, which is, you know, pretty important.
Alright, so the S9 Plus is able to survive all 10 bonus drops. Of course, it didn't retain 100% functionality with the selfie cam no longer working. But the good news for the S9 is we were able to finally access the rear cameras through a quick shortcuts, where we found that the moving part that enables the variable aperture is still working just fine, which hopefully is a sign that it'll be able to hold up with regular use over time. So with 4 rounds in the books, it's time to take a look at the scorecard. In the first round, we learned that at least when it comes to the glass on the back, the iPhone X's glass is actually stronger. In the second, the iPhone X stainless steel outshines the S9's aluminum. In the third, Samsung's work on that aluminum and the thicker glass paid off big time. And finally, in the fourth, the S9
Somebody's copied me. Texas. Alright, here we go again. Put a little bit more on here. Done went down and ate. Yes, Ralph. Yes, Ralph, I ate. It wasn't wings and it wasn't chicken. It wasn't a pineapple sandwich either. But anyway, my belly's full. I'm ready to get started again. I worked about 30 or 45 minutes a while ago and got 3 minutes on the show. There's a lot of stuff I got to look at here before I put it on there. Don't want to do something wrong, you understand that? That's right. Alright. So that's what I'm doing right now. While that's pulling up, I'm going to get on YouTube and pull the hickey-doo up.
AlabamaMusicSceneTV
Movie making program up. I use Sony Movie Studio Platinum. That's right.
I use several,
Platinum.
actually.
I don't fool around.
I use Pinnacle and
Platinum.
Power Director.
Come on, Ralph. It's raining out there. Ain't you got some cars to pull in or something? And Creighton, you got some bread to deliver there, buddy. Y'all go do it. It's raining. Alright, what am I looking for here? I need to get out of this and get into this.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Alright,
Aight.
we're going to pull this up. If it'll pull up. Yeah, it's going to pull up. Hopefully. Come on.
Wow.
It ain't doing nothing. There it goes. Alright. While that's pulling up, I'm gonna see what I got right here. Woohoo! There it goes. Alright. Golly, it's taking its time, ain't it? It'll get there in a minute. Y'all just bear with me. Bear with me. It's getting them. Alright, while that's doing that, I'm reading a few things here. There we go. Alright, that's pulled up. So, let me get a few things on here. Wow. Alright, one more, and then I'll be working on my show here. Mercy sakes. Good grief. Okay. Much to do here. Got two computers going here. Got one you can't hardly see here. It's my desktop. My laptop's what I do the show on. I used to do it on the desktop, but I found this new software and I got a really strong laptop here that I just recently purchased, and I'm doing the show on it now. Let my desktop rest. It was getting a little slow. I've got so much on this. I've got a 2-tier, I guess that's the way you say it, storage unit. There's a 1-tier in this laptop here. Alright. What I need to do here, the last thing I put, let me widen it out. I think it went too far. That's alright. Alright, I'm gonna play this, make sure everything's on the up and up. You understand? Ooh.
Here's how I was on my first day of the job.
Video of the week.
Okay, so this is Treasuries. You alright? I'm passing out. Okay, are you okay? You want to hang on? Passing out. Okay.
He's telling you he's passing out. Let me pull this over here. Let's try that again.
Okay, so this is Treasuries. You alright? I'm passing out. Okay, are you okay?
He said
You
I'm
wanna hang on?
passing out.
Okay, why don't you want to sit down? Okay, alright.
He failed.
Okay.
That's my video of the week. Got several different ones of passing out, news anchors and stuff. Alright, now my script. See what's coming up next. That's the video of the week. Now, a video from Horizon. I gotta go get it on here. TV show. Here's everything we taped last Monday for the show. And I gotta find Horizon here. Horizon intro right there. Alright. Pull it up. I already fixed it because she wore a yellow blouse and it real close to being the same as my green screen, so I couldn't do it on here. It didn't look right to me, so I done it on a better program on here on the desktop where I could fix it and you could see the green blouse and you know where it wouldn't blend too much. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about. That chroma key, I'm putting this on there. Alright. Now what? Yeah.
Now here's a video from the Horizon band playing at the Crossroads in Arab, Alabama.
I must have been building one of my
That's
shows
good,
on
but
here.
what I gotta do here is something I saw just now.
This guy looks a lot like me. I think he's wearing the same hat I got on.
Now,
What I gotta do is pan, make it a 4:3, a standard TV, and I gotta slide it over just a little bit. You can see it sliding there.
Alright, let's try something else here.
Alright. That way you can see all this. You can see her.
Horizon band playing at the Crossroads in Arab, Alabama. Horizon band playing
Alright.
at the
Let's try this one.
If you write anything on your computer, you need to get Grammarly.
I write pretty much all day, every day, and
Hey
Hey, it's Kelly from Ready Set Drone, and I am here today with my good pal Nick Marty from the latest Late Show.
That's right.
And I am going to teach Mr. Nick here, who has never flown a drone, how to fly a drone. So check it out.
Let it get away from me.
So Nick, first of all, tell me about, you moved to LA recently. Tell me about moving from Texas to LA.
The heat is a difference, obviously. You know, I live like 10 minutes away from the beach now, so it's a lot better weather, a lot more windy, so when I shoot my videos, it's a lot harder. I have to have like a 5-pound dead cat on my mic. But besides that, you know, I see people with drones all the time. And I'm actually I do a lot of acting, and I'm on set all the time, and drones are a big part of everything.
Sure.
So I have no idea how to use them. I see them all the time. YouTubers are using them. I gotta learn.
And today, what I want to teach you, and again, you've never flown a drone before, I want to teach you...
not clickbait.
I want to teach you the 5 basic flying techniques that everybody should know. So I've done a couple other videos. I did common mistakes, and I did one beginner mistakes that a lot of beginners make. This is really just the 5 basic things that every pilot should know. Before we get started, in 15-20 seconds, tell me what the latest Late Show is all about.
The latest Late Show is pretty much a late night show on a budget. I want to have a late night show, so I said, let me start it now. So I film at my room. My bed's like 2 feet away from the camera. Basically, that's it. Expect goofy, expect stupid. I have fun with it. Check it out.
All right, well, so to get started here, I brought out 3 drones. 2 of them are the same. These 2 here, the blue one and the white one, are the SEMA X5. Those are the drones I always recommend for beginners. Why? Because they're cheap. They're not super easy to fly, they're kind of medium to fly.
Okay.
But if you can learn how to fly one of these, and then you decide to upgrade to a Phantom or a Solo or a Unique, if you master these, you'll be rocking when you get into a more expensive drone. That other one there is the Whirlwind. It runs between 100 and 200 bucks. It's brushless motors. It's pretty fast and it's a lot of fun to fly, but I just kind of brought it for something else to fly. I think I almost killed you with it a few minutes ago, so sorry about that.
I was drinking water, but he was showing me some cool moves that he has.
I still like it. And then I got a little too cool. But anyway, so to start off, 5 things you're gonna learn how to do. Number 1, a lot of people get the drones, a lot of people have problems taking off and landing. And the reason they have a problem taking off and landing is because of a thing called ground effect. Now, ground effect is what's created when a helicopter or a drone has its prop blowing downward, and it creates this sort of vacuum underneath the drone. And what'll happen is if you don't take off with enough gusto, meaning enough throttle, sometimes you'll kind of hover and then you'll flip over. Or sometimes when you're landing, the same thing happens. It's almost like a little bubble. So the first thing I'm going to teach you how to do is to take off and land. Now, fortunately, these are small. They don't create a lot of ground effects, so taking off and landing is pretty easy. So we're going to start off with, should we do the white one? It's actually harder to land with the landing gear on. It's easier when there's no landing gear because it bounces a little more. But I want to teach you how to take off and land several times without bouncing, without flipping it over.
Deal.
So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the radio. We're going to turn on the drone. And we're going to bind it, which means we're going to push the stick up and down. And then we're just going to take off. Right here.
So close to your face.
Yep, it's all good. And then I'm just going to bring it in and do a very soft, gentle landing.
Okay.
There we go. So now on your stick, on your control, you have some very basic controls. This is your throttle, which gives it gas up and down. And this is also your yaw. Yaw is when it turns left and right. It's what a rudder does in a plane. So your yaw is what makes it spin in a circle. This is basically what would be your elevator and your aileron. It pushes the drone nose forward, pushes it right, pushes it left, and pushes it backward. So this is what you use to move around. You're really not going to use this much right now, except if it starts drifting one way. This has no GPS, so if it starts drifting, you're going to kind of try to bring it back. So just take it up in the air, hold it right here for a second or 2, and then just take it down and do a nice gentle landing.
Okay.
All right, here we go, folks. Look out.
I got that. That's nice. How do I bring it back?
Okay, kill the stick. There we go. So when it starts to come back like that, push. The wind is blowing this way. Push that stick forward a little bit. Use that's your joystick, and just use it to try and keep it in the same spot.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So nice, gentle takeoff and landing. More gas. There you go. Push forward with the right stick. There you go.
Ah, okay.
Now land it. Nice and gentle. There you go. That's all right. Try not to bounce. Okay, that was the bouncing I was talking about. Yeah, but all right, that's number one, is that whole takeoff and land thing. So number two, actually, you jumped ahead. You skipped from step 1 to step 2, and that is the hover.
Okay.
So the hover is where you literally take it up here and you hold it in one place as close as you can in one spot for as long as you can. Step number 2, if you can learn how to hover this, there's a little breeze. I'd say there's probably a 6-7 mile an hour breeze right now.
It feels like a lot to me. I'm scared because
well, just compensate. If it starts rolling this way, push the stick that way. Just remember to keep the back of this thing towards you. And if it starts to rotate, use this stick. Use this stick to rotate it left and right. So this, if you push it that way, it's going to rotate that way. If you push it that way, it's going to rotate that way.
See.
So just try to keep that little on-off switch facing you.
So hover now?
Yeah, I want you to hover it right in front of us for about 10 seconds.
All right.
At about 5 feet in the air. Okay, bring it up a little bit. Bring it left. There we go. There's a nice. Now bring it down a little bit and push your.
Get away from my face.
Push your left stick left a little bit.
That's right.
So this is your left stick.
That's right.
So I wanted you to rotate it left. You notice now it's actually facing that way. See how the button there?
Yeah.
So I'll show you. Let me show you one time real quick. So I'm gonna take it up in the air, and I'm gonna just, if it starts to rotate, I'm gonna just kind of use this stick to rotate it like that.
That looks so cool.
But just hold it right there. And then, nice gentle landing.
All right.
All right, one more time. Let's see if you can hover it over this area for 15 seconds.
15 seconds, all right, I got 15.
And start the clock.
All right.
There you go.
5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 15.
That's pretty good, right?
That was decent, yeah. Now let's see a nice gentle landing right on the pitcher's mound.
All right, it's gonna be coming back here. Come on back.
Oh, one other thing, kill the throttle all the way.
Okay.
I forgot to tell you, when you do land, you want to make sure to push the throttle all the way down, and that stops the motors.
Okay.
If the throttle's even up slightly, the motors will keep rolling and it'll still do
I was wondering why it was still going. All right, that's right.
All right, so step 1 was what?
Step 1 was
takeoff and landing.
And then this one was hovering.
Hover. Yep.
Okay.
So that's step 1 and 2. So what we're going to do now for step 3 is we're going to take it off, and then you're just going to use the right stick to go forward a little ways, come backwards a little ways, and then recenter, and then go right, and then left. You'll make a cross, kind of, like a big cross. So imagine that the center of the pitcher's mound is the center of the cross. You go forward 10 feet, come backwards past the pitcher's mound 10 feet, go back to the center, go left 10 feet, and then back to the right and go right 10 feet. So it's basically just learning how to use the right stick to control it. So I'm gonna.
I wouldn't really be using the left stick as much right now, right?
The only thing you're using the left stick for is your throttle and for your yaw.
Yaw.
Where if it starts to rotate, you want to keep the back facing us.
Okay.
It's yaw.
Yeah.
Imagine it's really boring.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I gotcha. Game time. Game time.
Forward.
Game time.
All right, that's good. Now come back. Keep it nice and tight. Nice. Come back all the way to here. Keep coming. All right, now back forward. Go forward again. I say back forward. That's confusing. Now go left. Nice. Now go right. And the wind is blowing that way, so it's going to go slower to the right. Nice. Now bring it in and land it right on that center or close to it.
Okay. Why are you going that way?
Forward.
How do I yaw?
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. When you're in trouble, just kill the stick.
It's killing. It's dying.
Yeah, just take it down. Boom. There you go.
Went a lot farther than I expected. All right, my bad.
I think the wind got it.
Yeah, it was the wind. It was the wind, obviously. I know how to do this. I'm a drone expert. Like
All
28.
right. Now this is called the 360 yaw.
Okay.
Now, can you imagine? You're going to take it up in the air. You're going to hover. You're going to use your skills you learned from hovering, and then you were going to spin it around in a 360
So it should
yaw.
stay in the same spot.
It should.
Right?
Well, it'll move a little bit, but
Okay.
yeah, relatively close to the same spot. So I'll show you. So I'm going to take it up here. I'm going to put it right about there, and I'm going to just do this. All right. Okay, go forward. You keep it away from us a little bit, because this will tend to drift towards us.
You can say it's because I'm new.
All right, now give it some yaw.
Yeah.
Yaw it all the way, all the way. Keep yawing, keep yawing. All right, now. And once again. All right,
I don't know what
kill the throttle. There you go. So I'm gonna say real quick, there is a cheat mode, just like in video games. You know, there's cheat codes in video games. In drone world, there's a thing called headless mode, Okay. And what headless mode does, it actually tells this thing, no matter which way it's facing, to always, when you push the stick forward, always go away from you. When you pull the stick back, always come towards you. So yaw doesn't matter. That's cheating. So
you can program that?
You can program that, but we're not doing that today. You're learning the hard way. You're learning the hard way. So if you can master it without headless mode, you'll be a better pilot. And then when you do fly in headless mode, you know what you're doing.
Kelly just wants the best for me.
All right. And the very last thing, oh boy, this is the toughest one.
All right, I feel like they're all tough.
This one is where we're gonna fly it in a circle. It's what I was doing when I almost hit you guys.
Okay.
We're gonna fly it in a circle with the nose facing forward the whole time. So what I mean by that is you're actually gonna be traveling, and instead of keeping the back facing you like you were doing before, you're actually gonna rotate and fly forward at the same time. So I'm gonna go in a big circle around us and show you what I mean. So I'm just gonna basically take it and go like this. Now it's going in a circle, and now it's going in a circle. Well, it's kind of a big oval, actually.
So the forward is facing us almost the whole time-ish.
So I'm basically just using the two sticks at the same time. I'm using the, well now I'm backing it up. So I want to, okay, I'm going to do a big circle. Big circle. There we go. They push forward, and then push the throttle stick left. Or right, either way. Whichever way you want to go. Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's it. Come it down a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Less throttle. You're a little too high. There we go. There you go. Now come towards us. You're facing away, so push the stick forward. It'll come towards us. Nice. Yeah. Now try doing a circle. There you go. There you go. That's it. Now get away from that. Get away from that big fence over there.
Get away from the fence.
Come over this way a little bit.
I'm yawing by accident.
That's all right. It was actually.
Get away from the fence. I'm killing it.
It's all right. Hey, and that's another trick is if you get in trouble, kill it. Because you'd much rather have it crash on this side of the fence than on that, because then we have to walk all the way around, you know? So Nick, let's go through it real quick. 5 things that every beginner drone pilot should learn. Number 1.
We want to go up and down without a bounce.
Yes. Takeoff and landing, don't get ground affected. Number 2.
Hover.
Hovering. Learn how to hover. Master the hover. I know the hover's boring, but it's kind of like learning to drive. You have to learn how to steer. Steering might be boring by itself, but driving itself is really fun. After hover, you've got your
go back
forward,
and forth,
back,
and side,
right, left. Yes, just practice that. Just keep the drone oriented the same way. Use your yaw stick to keep it oriented, and just do that cross over and over again. And then you get to the exciting stuff.
360 yaw.
360 yaw, baby. Woo, look at that. It's just yawing and yawing and
I remember the yaw now because of
the yawn. It's so, well, and that's the same term for an airplane.